now Britney Spears, her divorce is coming up. Sam Asghari has not filed for divorce yet, but they're now estranged, not to get back together again. And TMZ has found out some really ugly stuff that happened behind the scenes between the two of them. They say sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ that Sam Asghari frequently complained about Britney getting physical with him during their 7 years together. We're told there have been numerous fights where security had to step in, and in one instance, there was no security in sight. So in this instance, Sam Asghari was just, this is his account, he was sleeping in their bed, and Britney was up in the middle of the night, doing whatever Britney Spears does
things
in the middle of the night, probably filming dance videos.
There's gonna be a great video. It's just a camera in their room, and you just see him sleeping.
Put it on fast forward, and she's just running around the room like she's doing jumping jacks. So she comes into the room and just starts wailing on him, and he ends up getting a black eye from this. And the paparazzi did take photos of him where he had a black eye and appeared to have a bite mark on his forearm. So she's not only abusive, but feral.
She's a biter.
And I'm just wondering, is this going to turn into a Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation? Is this makeup? Maybe Sam Asghari is the Amber Heard.
Perhaps, or maybe she crapped in his bed, and that's why he had to get up in the middle of the night, because she crapped in his bed.
No, it's like he says that he was totally asleep, and that
she crapped in his bed, and the smell woke him up.
Why, even in the deepest depths of your delusion and insanity, would you beat up somebody who was just sleeping? I don't understand. What set her off? What set her off?
She's going through rough times, man. She's going through very rough times.
I don't understand. Yeah. And then there was this other account where they were, quote, going at it when they were in a hotel room in London, not in a good way, where it got so bad that she tripped and hit the coffee table, cracking her head open, and she needed stitches. This is according to Harvey Levin. They just put out a documentary about their divorce. Britney Spears, divorced in despair. But then her reps say this never happened and they've never even been in London together. But I love how the comeback is that didn't happen. They never went to London.
It didn't happen in London.
Get it? Yeah, they have to be clever with their words there.
She's going through it. She's very clearly unstable right now. She's having a very hard time keeping like they said she hired a bunch of new people, including an in-house doctor.
Okay.
To live like a live-in doctor.
Like a psychiatric.
When I hear that, all I hear is drug dealer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think about it. Yeah. Any doctor in LA gets paid off for that type of thing.
When I think of that, I think of drug dealer. I really do. So
I think she needs to not live in LA.
Yeah, getting out of this, getting out of the hubbub of the city might be good for her. Go to Montana. I just read this article about how Taylor Kitsch from Friday Night Lights moved to Montana and opened a rehabilitation center out there.
Continuing the California invasion of Montana and Wyoming.
He's out there sitting right next to Jeffree Star. He waves to Jeffree Star from his rehab facility. Jeffree Star's got his...
Start a yak farm.
That's what she should do.
Yeah.
That's what she should do. Or what if Britney Spears started
I just don't think she should be around guns.
That's probably it is her constitutional right if she hasn't been committed.
Particularly concerned because Britney had a fascination with knives. We're told there were knives all over the house, including in their bedroom.
They call her Britney the Blade.
She was paranoid someone was going to get her, and she needed these knives as protection.
She's really good with a butterfly knife.
Yeah,
they call her the Blade.
It's just sad that she was so paranoid in the first place that she thought she was going to get taken away. She thought,
because
she was going to get institutionalized again.
Because of her dad.
But she's just clearly so detached from reality. But I mean, still, it takes personal accountability to get past your issues. And she's clearly not,
Yeah.
She's an adult woman and it's up to you to work through your psychological issues and not take it out on another person.
Well, look what's happening
or be a risk to somebody else's safety.
Look what's happening to Amanda Bynes. She just was seen out for the first time since being recommitted to the mental health facility just recently in public. And you just see how dangerous or how difficult that process is for people who have been traumatized by Hollywood.
What has she been trying to do? She's been like trying to be a nail tech or like have a cosmetology license for like 5 years.
I thought it was that she was starting a cosmetology brand.
Supposedly. I don't know how that's going to work.
But you see, like there was that other person, that other Disney star the other day,
Musso,
who stole Doritos. Who's just like, F your Doritos, I'm taking them.
I guess it was like probably public disorderly conduct or whatever. But yeah, and like he stole those chips, like, and he just looks like a wreck in the mugshot. And you think like, what are they doing to these people? Because it's been so many years since that kid, Mitchell Musso, was on Disney Channel. Like, it's been 15 years.
I mean, a lot of it, I think,
how much of the accountability is on their shoulders, and how much of it is, I mean, we need to like investigate the people that were managing them, especially the child stars.
It makes me think of how, like I mentioned last week, that WWE, because drugs were such a big part of the WWE in the 80s and there was no oversight or way of keeping them from doing all that stuff, they now let anyone that ever worked for WWE go to rehab for free. Like,
do you think that drugs were a big part of the Disney Channel?
Yes.
For the kids?
Yes, I do.
Like, this is what I'm saying. Nothing has changed since Judy Garland was doing blackface in 1937. Realistically, nothing has changed for the way that child stars are treated.
The type of drugs may change,
but the laws of, they get to keep their money now.
Yeah.
They get to keep their money and then blow it all once they turn 18.
Yeah.
Big whoop. They're still treated like cattle.
The drugs may have changed, and they've found more concrete ways of getting them the drugs legally. In a lot of cases, but you see so many of these stories, they end up dying after, dying of an overdose and they die. And a lot of times nowadays it's because they get fentanyl laced pills, and stuff like that. So it's not even necessarily like a standard OD. They just didn't realize what they were getting. And there's just unending amounts of trauma that's come from, first of all,
and I think why do some of them seem so well adjusted in comparison? Like, Lily,
luck of the draw.
The girl who played Lily on Hannah Montana, Emily Osment, she seems fine. Selena Gomez seems, I mean, she's had her struggles, but she seems more or less well adjusted. Compare that to Demi Lovato, or I don't know, like Justin Timberlake, who was also in Mickey Mouse Club. Like, he seems just fine.
I think he's harnessed evil energy. I do. Did you see the trailer for the thing he's got? We watched the trailer for that. Like, he diversified. He took his career in various stages and seemed to take advantage of every part of that. Like, so
he got into a very happy marriage.
So he starts off as a kid star, transitions to a boy band. Immediately from there, he gets his scandal with Janet Jackson. He acts and does comedy with The Lonely Island. Like, he does act. He doesn't act regularly, but he does do it. So he diversified his portfolio. He owns company. Like, he's a producer as well. He took the business route, right? And who knows how well adjusted these people are behind the scenes. But the ones who, it just seems like luck of the draw. Maybe they have a good family support system at home that helps kind of stave it off in later years.
It seems like the industry treats the girls, the girl child stars worse.
I mean, a lot of those boy band members will talk about how, like, look at the band LFO. 2 of the 3 members are dead now. One of them cancer, and the other one it's like a curse with that. But a lot of these boy bands have talked about, what was it? Lance Bass talked about just how
chew you up and spit you out.
They do in a lot of ways. And it's like, I can't imagine. I guess we take for granted that we pay attention to this stuff. But if I was a parent and my kid was like, I want to be an actor, it's like, that's nice, Johnny. I'm signing you up for football. I would rather you get hit in the head as hard as you could get hit by another child your age.
Or just do like musical theater. As
pipeline.
cringe as that
still a pipeline. I would rather you sign up to be consistently pummeled by people your own age than to send you to Hollywood, where they're going to send you to parties with Kevin Spacey and drugs.
And with Jonah Hill, who is going to tell you that he has cigarettes in his car and you just need to come out to the parking lot with him. Yeah.
And I think it's also more concentrated to these examples, right? Like plenty of kids from well-meaning families end up a mess. I ended up a mess for many years and came from a family of my parents got divorced, but I had two parents that loved me greatly and was treated, was respected and was not abused in any way, shape, or form. Had a good childhood, played sports, parents did just about everything right. And I still found a way to fuck it up.
I agree that there are ways some of these kids are predisposed to self-destructive behaviors and addictive personalities, yes. But when you put them in the entertainment industry, into the Hollywood monolith, it's a recipe for disaster, and it's putting them in unnecessarily dangerous situations with adults who want to make money off of them, who also want to get them addicted to drugs and drinking when they're children. Just destroy their brains and crush their spirits. If they had any genuine talent in the first place, it gets destroyed. And then you see a Britney Spears or a Demi Lovato or a Miley Cyrus, and maybe they have a comeback later in their career. But somehow it never lasts.
The beats per minute slow down, and they go into their folk stage where they sing.
Somehow it never lasts, and then it's an ebb and flow, and they go back down into the trenches again.
I'm picturing Britney Spears now, like shadow boxing with Sam Asghari, and she's like bobbing from side to side, and it's just like.
Well, when I picture Britney Spears fighting with Sam Asghari physically, I do not picture her winning.
No, the dude's jacked.
I picture him holding back quite a bit. And, maybe he's a good guy, but didn't understand exactly what he was getting into.
And I think for a lot of these celebrities, it's weird, right? Because we see so many tell-all books about all the bad things that happen to these people. And then, the next article down is about the next child celebrity. And I'm like, does anybody really think that this kid is being treated any differently?
No.
They're not.
Like when we read about what happened to Brooke Shields, do we think that that's a thing of the past? Like, are we really gonna congratulate ourselves for being so progressive nowadays?
Yeah.
And when the child stars are treated just as badly, if not worse.
Well, look at Dan Schneider. Nothing happened to Dan Schneider. He's fine. Nothing. Still not in trouble. Nothing's going on. Open secret in the industry. About those things. It always feels like those are it eventually comes to pass, right?
There are other, Dan Schneider is kind of fine, except for the fact that the court of public opinion has condemned him. But there are other Dan Schneiders. Yeah. There are other Harvey Weinsteins. There are other Epsteins. And you won't know their names because they were more powerful than these people that you've learned their names.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. And in Hollywood, it couldn't be more true.
And that's how Me Too ended up silencing it, right?
Because Me Too was about defending a very protected elite class of women from chosen few sacrificial lambs. Yeah. That's all that happened. It wasn't really about creating change in the industry.
You sacrifice a few to get rid of to keep the rest of them safe. Protected and safe. And that is a sad thing to see because we see more than ever now with movies and television pumping out more content than ever. There are more people actually getting a foot in the door. And what's somehow even more demonic, that means that even more kids run the risk of getting taken advantage of for less money.
True. Yeah, the payoff of selling your soul is less.
They're selling their soul for no residuals and no playback.
That is dark.
I got destroyed by Hollywood, and all I got was this lousy single paycheck.
Yeah,
that's somehow even more depressing and heartbreaking. That you put a lot of it on the parents, right? These people are awful, but we as people now need to, as adults, if we're gonna have kids, need to be like, look. Just no. Just no. I would rather you try to be an influencer in your own bedroom making videos about...
I mean, that's worrisome as well, but for different reasons.
Like, yeah, and then we got to worry about parents who make who make money off their kids on YouTube, right? The TikTok moms,
the stage parents are going to stage parent,
so it's
like they're not going to stop.
And so so basically what we're saying is like it's all inevitable. You end up like Britney Spears either way. It's manifest destiny. That's awful.
You know, Britney Spears still has free will. She's an adult woman, and I know that she has moments of clarity because she's posted those moments of clarity in the past.
Yeah.
Like, you listen to that audio message she recorded talking about times in her conservatorship that were really hard for her. She sounds completely lucid, and those recordings from her in court, she sounds completely lucid and reasonable and like an adult and not using that weird raspy baby voice. But it's back and forth. She can't really seem to stick on a good path. But I know that she has it in her that if she really wanted to, she could leave LA, and she has the money and the time and the solitude to do the work that she needs to do on her brain.
I think that's a big part of this. She has the infrastructure in her life. She has the money. She has
not many people can say that for themselves.
To do that. And that's why so many people that do end up, falling prey to severe mental illness and drug addiction, it's because they don't have that infrastructure to lift themselves out of it. Does not make it not their responsibility, but the fact of the matter is
whatever to get through the day job that's keeping them in their apartment for the time being.
Oh yeah.
And Britney doesn't have to worry about that. So I hope that because she's in such a fortunate position compared to a lot of people, she can use that to get the help that she needs.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.